give it a minute, see if anybody jumps on here. We are super excited to do the first live, Instagram live walkthrough of one of our projects. I don't know, I thought this would be a fun way to walk you guys through it and show you kind of different projects that we have done or we're going to do. So I hope you enjoy it. This one is extra fun because you have all of the color in the world here. So we'll kind of walk you through it, show you what we have going on here. We got yellow, we got blue, we got pinks, we got all of the fun stuff. And we got questions for you guys that you guys gave us. So I will go ahead and start. This is a second garage, that's a lower garage right here as you come in. And then you walk into the gym downstairs. So as a gym in here, it's just a spot to be inspired. You have blue on this side that kind of transitions over here. You can kind of see this awesome transition in the ceiling right there. That is a good painter if you've ever seen one. So you have your regular gym equipment over here. So you got your elliptical, you got a rower, and then on this side, you have your squat rack and kind of your floor workout area to be able to do all of your yoga and free weight stuff. And then as you walk through into here, I mean, you guys, can you see how crisp that line is? I don't know if you can see that or not. But amazing, amazing work done by Pablo, our painter. And then as you walk into this kind of this main floor space, this room, and then it's got this awesome, let's see this here, this slat wall that's all painted in the same. And that's gonna have controller holders that are gonna go up there. And then over here, I don't know if you can see it on the live or not, but these cabinets are this amazing yellow. But let me switch the camera around. It has this super cool accent half circle that's CNC'd into it. I mean, how cool is that? Just a super fun little detail that makes this thing really pop. And of course, they have amazing styles, so this couch goes perfectly with all their fun colors that pop. And as you walk over here, there's a hallway to a couple bedrooms back there that we didn't do anything with. But over here, we have kind of this kitchenette area. We had this soffit that we couldn't get rid of. And so why not color drench it and make it just feel like a little cove of a kitchenette. So in the kitchenette, you got this awesome insert tile on the backsplash. Got your regular, just normal sink, but super fun drawer microwave that has a panel front on it. So it just looks like another drawer in the kitchen. And then we'll walk you into one of my favorite rooms, but it's terribly hard to photograph and terribly hard to video, but is this little powder bath. It's probably the coolest thing ever. You have this awesome built-in medicine cabinet, and it's all drenched in this really fun wallpaper and color drenched that same. And you have a super fun floor wall cabinet here with cutouts around all the plumbing. That's in that same green color. And same thing here. Look at that paint line. But yeah, one of the most fun powder baths we've ever done. Just flip around here. So this is like a niche that goes back into above the toilet, and also has storage in the top of it, but it's built into the wall. It's pretty fun. Fun little detail. And then we'll walk you through, this is what we are calling the ensuite. So as you can see again, another fun color change as you go into here. This room on photos looks absolutely insane. but it's really a way more muted green than this makes it look. But again, another little smaller vanity here with this awesome colors. Randall Weber did an awesome job on these. And then as you go into the shower, wall-to-wall niche that Tile Boy did all the way. So this tile just dives straight back into the wall. You have the niche that comes all the way across, so then the same pattern continues all the way up, and it just looks really cool. I don't know if you can really see the kind of iridescent feel of this tile or not in the live, but it has this really cool, almost like, I don't know, scaled different colors, and it really brings this green out when you put it together. So that's the ensuite bath, and then you walk back into here. This is the bedroom in here, and so this is actually a built-in desk that Randall Weber built as well. That's just such a cool little built-in piece that feels like, hey, this came from a furniture store, but he actually built and created all of this for, you know, floating shelves, everything as you walk around. And then our clients just know how to pick the coolest lights. Such a fun little detail. And then we got an awesome ceiling fan in here. Again, everything is color drenched. Looks really cool. And then we reconfigured this closet. So this is actually underneath the stairs. Before you entered from over here and walked in. And so when we bumped this space into it, we reconfigured that closet. So this whole front of this is all in plane. So this goes all the way across in the same plane. We added this powder bath, framed this out and added this powder bath. But everything else is all where it was. That ensuite bath was already there, but we added over to here just to give them that extra bath. And this floor is like a rubber, it's like a rubber mat floor, and it looks really awesome. And it's really cushy under your feet, especially for a basement application. It does not feel cold to your feet at all, but it also doesn't feel like a carpet where it's like, oh, this feels like it's gonna feel dirty, but it has a good texture to it. And then as you walk into here, just the super fun, just the fun colors of all the things. All right, I'm gonna walk back in here. I'll get our kind of our questions that we had pulled up from our last things. And yeah, if you're watching and you have a question about the project, feel free to jump in here and let me know what questions you have. But one of the questions we had was, what's one design decision you wish more homeowners would take a risk on? I think it's pretty easy in this project to have me tell you which things you should try out more, and that's color. Just have more fun with color, because it's paint. The worst thing that can happen is you hate it in a year and you buy a new couple gallons of paint and you put new paint on. It's not that big a deal. That's one thing that I really wish people were more apt to taking that plunge is, hey, let's just add some color pop. If we hate it next year, we'll repaint the wall white, because everybody can paint a wall white. But not everybody can do this like we had talked about before. Like that, and making all the colors play nice together. So our client on this one, you know, is a visionary colors, so I just love being able to do that type of color. Here said, can you talk more about the blue floor, how it was installed. So the floor is a rubber mat. So the best thing I can describe it as is like a gym floor. So it's about 1/2 inch thick, and it's just a rubber mat that gets glued down over the concrete since we're in a basement. I actually think we have some sheets out here in the garage that I can show you. Still, we have some leftover. Oh, I think I moved. But it's a thick. Let's try to see. There's a spot where I can show it to you. I can probably show you in this. Yeah, here we go. In this utility closet. So you can kind of see. So about 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch thick, and then that gets glued down. These are super heavy duty sheets, and so they're super hardcore. Oh, I could pause for a second. I don't know if you saw that or not. But yeah, cool option, especially for basements, making a basement not feel like a basement, using that rubber floor rather than like hardwoods. A lot of people use hardwoods, and I feel like they just start to fall apart in basements. So one of the other questions was, what's something people always forget to plan for in their remodel budget? Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good question. I would say a lot of times the last thought in people's minds is hardware, so like cabinetry hardware. So when you're talking about like the poles like this, what type of poles, how many you're gonna need. It seems like that is maybe a small one, but like a one that people tend to forget about until it's too late. So in our selections process, that's like one of the things that we make sure that everybody knows to select, because it can cost a lot of money to find the right hardware. That's probably one of the things. The other things is like lighting design, just making sure that you know what kind of lights and where you want them to be, because do you want it to be a surface mount light? Do you want it to be pendant light? Those are the type of things that we always focus on when we go through our our selections process, to make sure that those are picked out and are actually what you want. What else? What are the vents above the kitchenette for? So what they're talking about there is these vents right here. So it's kind of a cool, these are Fitties vents, but they're actually what's called combustion air vents. So these are sucking air into where the furnace area is to make sure fresh air is coming in. And we were able to do that instead of having this door right here instead of it being a louver door, we opted for these vents, just to have it be a little bit, in my opinion, cleaner and more symmetrical than having that be a louver door. So it's still bringing in all that fresh air that we need for the furnace and the water heater. And then let's see. Did the homeowners change their mind on anything mid-project? I would say nothing really super major.
Paint.
Paint stuff is one of the changes that we had. Originally, this whole wall was going to be yellow instead of having just the alcove part of it be yellow. And so that was one of the changes that they made. There was some electrical changes once we opened this wall up. So this wall used to be a weird built-in that had the stairs turned this way. So we had to kind of reframe it and make it look just that much better. But so we had to make this actually smaller than it was, and that kind of changed where we wanted to put switching and where we wanted to do, kind of all of that stuff. Let's see, what else? Were there any unexpected challenges mid-project? Yes, absolutely. There always are in a remodel. The biggest one being, we always wanted to do a pocket door here. Well, this was an addition at one point, and all of the plumbing was in this wall. And so we were originally going to do the pocket door on the inside of the framing on this side of the existing house, not on this side. But there was plumbing there, so we had to completely reroute that plumbing in order to make this pocket door actually work. So we had to reroute that plumbing. It was all plumbing surprises, it seems like. I don't know why. So then in here, so there used to be a closet. There used to be a closet right here. And inside of that closet was another plumbing stack in there. So we had to completely reroute and move that so we didn't have a weird bump out in that wall, because obviously we couldn't put that desk there unless we removed that. So those are kind of some of the details on that one. I don't know if you guys can see. That green looks crazy on video. How to describe that. Our go-to tools. So for all of our file storage, we use Drive. So all of our plans, all of our selections, everything goes into Drive. And that is like one of the biggest things for us, is making sure that all of that Drive stays updated. So all our project managers use it. Everybody in our office uses it, just to make sure that everything is up to date as soon as possible, and also it's the clarity that we need to be able to execute the project well. Like when you're talking about paint colors, like that goes into the Drive. So where does that stop and where does this stop? You know, that's a whole thing that needs to be communicated to a painter, or else they're probably just going to paint all of this pink and not have that yellow strip in the middle. And what happens with that soffit? Does that get painted yellow or does that get painted pink? And so those are the type of things that always have to get communicated in those documents. And Heather created an entire paint plan for this project in order to make sure it actually worked. So does anybody else have any other questions on here? We talked about the floor, we talked about designs. One of the other, I've already showed this like twice, but I think it's super fun every single time, is this drawer dishwasher. It's probably because I do the dishes at my house, and I'm the one that does the dishes, and I think this dishwasher is sweet, and I would like to use it every day. But one of those fun things. I know I keep talking about the design in here, but I mean, I don't know if you can see how crisp that one is, but that looks like somebody from an automotive shop made that. So it looks super cool. And also, wouldn't you want to work out in here? I mean, if there's a space that's inspiring to work out in, all right, we're going on about 20 minutes. I'll let anybody jump in with some questions here, and then we'll wrap it up, because we got to do some final photos. There's always so many things that I want to talk about. Fits perfectly into this little square corner. Super fun. I always love the bedside lights. Just ease of use. So we got these inverters lights. Yeah, that's the way to go. All right. Well, do you have any questions on there?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, let us know if you like this format, if you like some in-depth stuff from projects, to keep doing it. And